Herewith, in this demo, I wish to walk you through how Ariadne's smart contract technology can benefit in the dynamic pay use case. Danske Bank will benefit with an enhanced transaction management system. On the other hand, all counterparties involved in this trade finance case can now digitally represent their agreement terms, execute transactions, and maintain history of transactions through the use of Ariadne. This is how it can be made possible. The dynamic pay ecosystem contains the following categories of counterparts: 1. The suppliers, 2. The buyers, 3. The factors. Each of the counterparts can sign up to an account. Here, the identifier indicates a username that can be made publicly available in the ecosystem. These are the details of the entity required for signing up. The country code we use here is linked to the IBAN sandbox, which should create an IBAN account automatically after the entity sign up is completed. Now let's create a payment channel or a gateway for this account. Now we have a profile created wherein the IBAN account is created for this entity. This account now is also linked to a cash contract that shows the balance available in the payment channel or the gateway linked to this entity. For the demo simulation, I would like to add some funds into this cash contract, about 500 Danish crowns. What we see is an increase in the notional value of this contract, indicating that the balance that exists with buyer Ross company is 500 crowns for transaction. Once the buyers, the supplier, and the factor have their logins created and the accounts, they are now ready to transact on this platform. For the sake of the demo simulation, I have already created 3 accounts: a supplier, Cotton Trader Limited; buyer, Harry Limited; and a factor who is a venture fund, VC1 Limited. The first part of the transaction is where a supplier is raising an invoice to the buyer. This can either happen as a full invoice settlement after 60 days or a discounted invoice that is payable today. In the demo here, I would like to show you how the agreement terms between the buyer and the supplier are represented here in Ariadne. Let's go ahead and create an invoice. The initial date or the initial exchange date is the date on which the contract is created. The maturity date is the date until which the contract offered remains valid. The contract here is between the legal entity counterparts Harry Limited, who is the buyer, and the legal entity record creator Cotton Trader Limited. The actual value of the contract is per se about 12,000 crowns. The discounted value is about 5,000 Danish crowns. Let's go ahead and execute this deal between these two counterparties. A smart contract here represents all agreements and terms and cash flows in a machine readable format. This is the actual value of the contract. This is the discounted value that is applied. Let's visit the buyer's login now and view if this contract reflects in the login. An invoice of 12,000 Danish crowns. Yes, it does. This implies that an invoice of discounted contract is existing between the supplier and the buyer. The same process can also be followed between the factor and the buyer. If the buyer is the financer for his invoice from the supplier. In such a case, payments can be also made to directly move from the factor to the supplier for the agreed terms and amounts. Now let's look at the factor. The counterparts also benefit with an agile payment automation. The self-executing nature of the smart contracts makes sure the transactions are not only scheduled but also processed on the dates that they are supposed to execute between payment channels of counterparties. Further, Ariadne Smart Contracts provides for transaction history for various transactions that have been executed for an entity using this platform. Here is the credit account ID. Here is the debit account ID for the transaction that has been executed. In the case of Danske Bank, a balance sheet statement and a profit and loss can be generated for any required day. As in here, you can see that this is the trading portfolio that is represented here on the financial statement. Thank you.